Life is full of highs and lows. And we see that Israel had a great high. They had a great victory over Jericho in Joshua chapter 6. But today we see that they had a great defeat, a real low with Ai. And it wasn't only the defeat that they had, but it was because of sin that was in the camp. Now they fixed that and were able to defeat Ai, but they had this great defeat in their life. And so they faced a different kind of challenge when we come to Joshua chapter 9. And that challenge was not an army that was marching to go to war with them, but it was deception. And God had told them when they were in the wilderness to go into the land, to kill all the inhabitants of the land, to not make any treaty with them. But what happened in Joshua chapter 6? I want to read Joshua chapter 9, verse 6 through 15. They went to Joshua in the camp of Gilgal and said to him and the men of Israel, "We have come from a distant land. Please make a treaty with us." And the men of Israel replied to the Hivites, "Perhaps you live among us. How can we make a treaty with you?" And they said to Joshua, "We are your servants." Then Joshua asked them, "Who are you and where do you come from?" And they replied to him, "Your servants have come from faraway land because of the reputation of the Lord your God. For we have heard of his fame and all that he did in Egypt, and all that he did to the two Amorite kings beyond the Jordan, King Sihon of Heshbon and King Og of Bashan, who was in Ashtaroth. So our elders and all the inhabitants of the land told us, 'Take provision with you for the journey. Go and meet them and say, we are your servants. Please make a treaty with us. And this bread of ours was warm when we took it from our houses as food on the day we left to come to you. But see, it is now dry and crumbly. These wineskins were new when we filled them, but see, they are cracked. And these clothes and sandals of ours are worn out from the extremely long journey.' Then the men of Israel took some of their provisions, but did not seek the Lord's decision. So Joshua established peace with them, made a treaty to let them live, and the leaders of the community swore an oath to them." So the Israelites were deceived. They made a treaty with the Gibeonites, who were not travelers from a faraway land, but they had dressed up pretending to be so. And why were they deceived in the first place? Because verse 14 tells us they did not go to the Lord in prayer. Let me ask you, how's your prayer life? Do you pray about decisions? Do you pray about things? Or do you just run ahead and do what you want to do and do what you think's best? And then maybe bring it to the Lord afterwards, after a mess has been made. I want to encourage you, and I'm encouraging myself as well, to take everything to the Lord in prayer. Hope that you'll join me again tomorrow.